Why are you a racist? Mayor Johnson.
Yeah.
Please turn the mic on. Thank you. Real Chicagoans woke up this morning relieved that the Department of Justice is finally investigating your race hustle. As someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me, but they were usually marching around outside of City Hall, which is what makes this so embarrassing and dangerous. Very, very dangerous to the city of Chicago.
Okay, we need the question.
I'm more than happy to ask this question. It's long overdue. For over a year, real Chicagoans, white and black, have been telling me that your black power rhetoric is bringing the city backwards from a place that
We need the question.
had overcome. You want the question?
Please.
Real Chicagoans want to know, why are you a racist?
Well, first of all, I reject the idea and the premise that somehow that's an actual legitimate question.
You want that?
All right, we're going to go to the next one. Alice?
The next question, my follow-up question is a businessman, Robert Gomez, had his Riverfront restaurant license yanked. You said that the reason you hire black people is because they're the most generous race on the planet. His Riverfront restaurant license was yanked and given to a black restaurateur. That has, once again, reinforced the belief among real Chicagoans,
Okay.
white and black,
We need
and
the
Mexican,
question.
that you are a racist. What do you say to those people?
Again, I reject the premise that somehow that your question has any legitimacy. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. We'll go to
Pass the mic
Alice.
there. Thank you.
Straight to the question. Straight to the question.
I didn't even start the question. Interrupting me before I start a question is kind of a violation of my First Amendment rights. You know that, right? Mayor Johnson, you really should talk to your press secretary. I mean, it doesn't make you look strong to have them interrupting my questions. It really doesn't. Mayor Johnson, yesterday you took a very thinly veiled swipe at Governor Pritzker for prioritizing and harboring the Democrat lawmakers from Texas over the residents of the South and West Side.
There should be no reason why we don't do everything in our power to ensure that Illinois shows up for Illinoisans. In fact, as much as I appreciate Illinois helping out people from Texas, the South Side and the West Side could use that same level of energy.
Yet, real people on the South and West Side contact me every day and say that they feel that your spending on migrants, putting Chicago in a $1 billion budget gap,
Time to get to the question.
has harmed them. What do you say to those people?
Well, first of all, the investments that I will continue to make, particularly in communities that have been historically left out, we will continue to do that. $1.25 billion investment for housing and economic development. We just put forth another $40 million to expand and develop the infrastructure around homelessness. We've invested in over 30,000 summer youth jobs. We'll continue to make those investments. Look, the less than 1% over the overall budget that we responded to based upon the unholy and ungodly efforts and acts of the governor of Texas, we did the righteous thing by responding. It's very clear that we did the right thing responding to this mission. Because this is a governor in Texas that can't figure out, quite frankly, how to respond to natural disasters, right? This is a governor who is working hard to eliminate the power of black and brown people. I'm always going to stand up against those efforts, and as a city, we're going to continue to build the safest, most affordable big city in America.
National Democrats are pointing to you as an example of why the candidacy of New York Governor mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani would be a disaster for New York and for the rest of the country. They say,
Question.
Mayor Johnson is proof that
We need the question.
not all grammar school social studies teachers are not qualified to run for mayor. That your
We're going to need the question. We're
$1
going to have to keep moving.
budget deficit is an example of failed policies.
Okay.
What do you
Thank you.
say to the National Democrat leaders who are pointing to you as an example of incompetence.
Yeah, 32% reduction in homicides, 38% reduction in shootings, 38% reduction in shooting victims. We have, some of the greatest numbers of airport interaction than we've seen ever in the history of our city. We have more people moving to the city of Chicago. We're on pace to build 10,000 more affordable units. Look, the city of Chicago has long been the punching bag of the extreme right. We know they have, but it's proof positive that we're.
All right, thank you.
I want to finish answering the question here. It is clear if you were awake during the presentation, you would actually know how effective my leadership has been. Next time, won't you do us a favor and at least not nod off when we're actually giving the real people that you talk to the evidence of how we're building the safest, most affordable big city. One thing that I know for sure that I have to do over these next 2 years, every single dime that our people have been robbed of, I want to make sure that that is returned 2, 3-fold. We have 6 developers that have received the first $30 million for investment. 6 developers. Of those 6 developers, 5 of them are Black and 3 are women. BOA Construction received the prime construction contract at O'Hare under my administration. It's the first Black prime construction company to have a prime contract anywhere in the United States of America.